Amadeus follows the story of this old bastard who confesses to a priest that he murdered Mozart many years ago. Mozart, played by Tom Hulce, is basically a doofus with his wife, and we see him compose his orchestras, but oh look, it's the dude from Ghost. He also has daddy issues. Oh look, it's the guy from Ferris Bueller. He composes some more. Oh look, it's R2-D2. And well, the film is 3 hours long, which is the longest in my opinion a film should ever need to be, and it still has a bucket load of filler. And yes, this is the director's cut, but the director's cut only has 20 extra minutes, so even the theatrical cut would be too long, which I'll go over later.
What does it matter to you?
Kenneth Branagh actually claimed that he nearly got the lead part of Mozart, but was dismissed last minute because director Milos Forman wanted to use an entirely American cast. Which is why Kenny Baker's in it?
That's stupid.
Tom Hulce, who ended up getting the part, claimed that he used John McEnroe as his inspiration, utilising his infamous mood swings to add to Mozart's unpredictability. Meg Tilly was originally cast as his wife, but tore a ligament in her leg just a day before filming began and was replaced by Elizabeth Berridge. And the movie was shot in Prague before being released on September the 19th, 1984 to universal acclaim. It was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won 8 for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Costume Design, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Art Direction, Best Makeup and Best Sound. In fact, Amadeus is only one of 5 movies in history to have won Best Picture but did not hit the box office's top 5 for its opening weekend. It went on to be nominated for 6 Golden Globes, winning Best Director, Best Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture. The film was released at 161 minutes, or 2 hours and 40 minutes, but the director went and released an R-rated version with an extra 20 minutes included. Because we can never have short films anymore.
Yes, exactly.
When you finish a film, before the first paying audience sees it, you don't have any idea. You don't know if you've made a success or a flop when it comes to the box office. And in the 80s, with MTV on the scene, we are having a 3-hour film about classical music with long names and wigs and costumes. Don't forget that no major studio wanted to finance the film for these reasons. So we said, well, we don't want to be pushing the audience's patience too far. Whatever was not directly connected to the plot, I just cut out. But it was a mutual decision to limit the running time. I wanted the best life for the film myself. Well, once we are re-releasing it on DVD, it doesn't matter if it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long or 3 hours long. So why don't we do the version as it was written in the script?
Your work is ingenious.
Now look, the movie actually does fit within my criteria that no movie should be longer than 3 hours. And this is bang on 3 hours. But that is still 3 hours of unnecessary filler that doesn't connect to anything. Why don't you try telling a compelling story that isn't boring as piss?
Now that is a challenge.
The first thing I've noticed is that the audio levels are severely messed up. I mean, the audio when the characters speak is so insanely quiet you need to turn up the volume, but then the music kicks in and... Jesus!
You've heard that?
Wait, why the hell is there just this one random naked dude? I mean, a riot or something is going on, but there's just one guy that's naked for some reason. Odd. I actually find this scene hilarious. The guy who I immediately assumed was Mozart begs for the priest to know who he is.
I regret it is not too familiar. Can you recall no melody of mine? I was the most famous composer in Europe.
Oh, you must know my name! Okay, no idea what just happened there. Moving on.
Mozart is not here.
And then the scene continues again a few seconds later. It's just a really weird place to cut. What's the point in that? And it's pretty bad that I am so bored already that all I can think of right now is... her tits are amazing.
That was Mozart.
Gee, thanks for that. And then they cut back to the past again. What was the point in that? I mean, it was pretty obvious that that was Mozart. I mean, before this cutback, he says...
My music.
And then just seconds later, they say...
Ah, Mozart.
So why the cut back to the present? While the guy from Ferris Bueller plays, everyone seems to give each other orgasm faces. Oh, and this kid is apparently supposed to be Beethoven. No, his movie was better.
That was obvious.
The scenes last an eternity, and there's a simple solution for each and every one. They just take forever to get there. This one scene, the purpose is they need to agree what language Mozart's next opera is going to be in. Yeah, it's still going, yeah. Yeah, I'll speed up this footage, but I'm not cutting anything out. Look at this. You're seeing this right, folks? Welcome to my pain. Yeah. So how you guys been? Donate to my Patreon. You can put me through more torture like this every month. The scene's still going on! Are you kidding me? And Mozart is played like a complete moron. For the entire film, all he does is portray a bumbling idiot, and he looks more like Lee Evans than a musical genius.
Do you remember the old dial phones? Remember those? Took ages to dial a number. So whose bright idea was it to put the emergency services at the fucking end?
Oh, and he does this really annoying, unnecessary, over-the-top fake laugh throughout the entire film.
Shut up!
And just when you think he can't possibly get any more annoying... Are we supposed to hate Mozart? Because that's kind of the impression I'm getting here. Throughout the film, someone says they need help and he gets his hopes up, but it turns out they just want Mozart instead.
Who was on this committee?
Kapellmeister Bono, Count Orsini Rosenberg, and of course court composer Salieri.
Holy shit, Bono was there?
Shut up! Just shut up!
Now, there's a scene where he bribes Mozart's wife to bang him so her husband's work gets used or something. And she obviously resists at first, but then a simple jump cut and she's immediately up for it. Now she has her tits out like, come and take me, big boy. But it was all a trick and he kicks her out. Also, how does the guy remember all the scenes that he wasn't around to witness, like when Mozart is consoling his wife? And much like the other epic films I've covered, nothing happens. I mean, this scene is 1 hour and 13 minutes in. So far, Mozart has done an opera, his wife wants his work scene, but now nothing's going on. In fact, in this scene, just moments later, the dog apparently barks whenever any form of music plays, but for some reason it goes quiet whenever Mozart plays his. Is that meant to mean something? Isn't that technically saying what Mozart is playing isn't real music? And then he gets offended and leaves anyway. Well, that scene was completely pointless. They do try to build some kind of arc with his father, but apparently Mozart has married and even knocked her up, and he's never met her before. But who cares? We apparently have time for a party where Mozart crowd surfs, plays some music while his dad is dressed like Darth Vader. The douchebag holds a mask up to his face, and we're supposed to take this seriously?
Played by Gluck! Boring. Another!
Bendel.
I don't like him. Another one!
Actually, he was one of his favourite composers, but, you know, okay, details.
I've just heard some news that may be of interest to you.
What?
Mozart is writing a new opera.
Oh, fantastic! 94 minutes in and something else happens. Oh, it's the director's cut. Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? Even the theatrical cut was too long because there is an entire hour that is entirely pointless. I'm not even joking. Basically, Mozart goes along, he makes an opera, right? Then we get an hour where nothing involving the plot actually happens. Yeah, the stuff with the dad is minuscule, not really developed upon enough, but during that entire hour, nothing happens. And then, an hour later, that's when they decide Mozart's gonna make another opera. Even the theatrical cut was too fucking long!
The end of the second act, for example. It starts out as a simple duet.
Yes! Tell us about the opera instead of showing us it! Hollywood, what the fuck are you doing?
Surely His Majesty didn't mean to prohibit dancing when it's part of the story, Herr Director.
This movie is claiming that filler's part of the story. It's so cute.
I've no one else to turn to. What is it? It's unbelievable. The director has actually torn up a huge section of my music.
Oh no! Now it's going to be shorter, more effective, and better written! You have to help me!
I can't rewrite what's perfect.
I didn't know you wrote Shawshank.
What is this? I don't understand.
It's called filler, and trust me, you definitely know what it is. I will admit, I do really like the composition scenes though. I'm not a fan of classical music myself, but they are really well done, and apparently experts studied the film and claimed that every note in the movie is exactly how it was played on set. What you see is exactly what you hear. And straight back to shit.
I have come to commission work from you.
What work?
A mass for the dead.
What dead? Who is dead?
Sorry, I'm not taking this seriously. Can we cut? Oh, it's so cute. He's giving us an epic speech with this intense music. They think we care. That's adorable.
How does one do that? How does one kill a man?
Make them watch this. But oh well, have an opera that has nothing to do with Mozart. Woo!
Is there anything you like? The more fantastic, the better. That's what people want.
I think people want the closing credits, actually.
Stanzi.
I'm talking about now. How much will you pay him now?
I will pay you everything in my bank account to end right now. Then Mozart gets drunk and acts like a dick, even though he was a dick when he was sober, so there's not much difference. But again, nothing is really established and it never ends.
What's this?
Extra scenes? You want this film longer?
Calm yourself. What's the matter with you?
I'm not working there anymore.
Why? What has happened?
They never send me home. They keep filming more scenes and I'm never allowed to leave. And nearly 2.5 hours in, this servant lady has a dilemma and we're supposed to care. Just end for the love of... Okay, never mind. This is comedy gold.
And he's working on it very hard.
Give me 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks? You've had 2.5 hours, which in movie time could be years. Just wrap up.
I did it, and I was proud to do it. Leave, I said, right away. Clear out and take the child with you. Here's the money. Go to the spa and get your health back.
I just want it to be over. Please? Then some stupid feathery dragon spaz or some shit starts to sing opera to Mozart. Jesus! And it's not even singing!
Don't take this personally, but...
Oh, please.
No, I mean it. You're one of the worst singers I've ever heard in my life.
They're trying to build how not Jumanji Jason Man cares deeply for Mozart, but the problem about me giving a shit is that my toilet is broken.
It's him. Who? The man. He's here. Tell him to go away. Tell him I'm still working on it. Don't let him in.
Tell him I can't film any more scenes and to hurry the fuck up and just finish.
And if you finish the work by tomorrow night, he will pay you another 100 ducats.
Another? That's too soon.
We need 7 more hours of film. And then 2 hours and 40 minutes in, we see Mozart write a damn opera. Now, a much better film called Copying Beethoven, which, by the way, is only 1.5 hours. Just saying.
Of course.
Actually stole this scene, but that film actually built on characters and the relationship, so we cared more when it happened. Here, it's just wasted. There is an interesting angle though where Mozart explains some of the opera and he doesn't quite understand how it's going to work, so the genius has to explain. And what makes it better is that some of this was actually improvised. Tom Hulce intentionally kept skipping lines out to confuse the other actor to make it seem more genuine. But then it just keeps on going and it never ends. Just because you can make a scene 75 hours long doesn't mean you should.
Do you want to rest a bit?
No, I'm not tired at all.
I wish I knew the feeling. To be fair, the makeup and acting is actually tremendous, especially here, so they have that going for them.
Your husband took sick. I brought him home.
Why you?
Your husband was dying! Are you really that picky over who gets to save him? Bitch.
What is this?
It's extra scenes. You're in more of the movie. Now I'm gonna die. Good luck, bitch! And then he finally dies, and then comes back to life outside of his coffin and eats everyone! No, that ending would actually be amazing, but did you know that Mozart actually is still making music? He's decomposing. Nah. This movie sucks. I will credit the direction, acting and set design. As a production it's well made, but like so many before, the script is just awful and way overwritten. Copying Beethoven worked because it was short and to the point. Here it drags on for no real reason, which the director even admitted. The music is decent except for some of the shrieking, but honestly I wasn't a fan. Just an overhyped snore fest.